Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about that there's something missing in the Dragon Ball Super movies. Now, if you've seen a review of my Dragon Ball Super Broly movie review, then you know what I'm talking about. But of course, if you haven't, check it out. If you don't want to, sure, watch this video. And if you don't want to do that, I got a couple of shorts, a couple of posts you could do. If you don't want to do that, I don't know, comment, say hi. Anyway, daily posts, daily anime, daily everything. Come on now. And you know, we upgraded the channel. We went from pictures to clips. Ooh. Now, what I'm talking about with the Dragon Ball Super movies, all right, something like I went back to watch some old deep Dragon Ball Z movies for nostalgia's sake, you know. Episode of Broly, Tree of Life, Eradicate All Saiyans, Janemba, all these Dragon Ball Z movies. And I watched them and I was like, they're all better than Dragon Ball Super movies. Now, Dragon Ball Super movies have better action, for sure. But in terms of rewatching it and having the want to watch it again, I don't have the want to watch another Dragon Ball Super movie than watching a Dragon. I would pick all the Dragon Ball Z movies over the Dragon Ball Super movie. And the only reason is that Dragon Ball Super movies, just like how everyone hates Dragon Ball Super, is only because it's just straight action. They throwing hands from start to begin. Dragon Ball Super Hero, right? There's not really a plot. He makes the androids, send out the androids, he's manipulated, right? And then they have to go and fight androids, and somehow they made an imperfect Cell Max, stronger than the original Cell, to fight Orange Piccolo and give Gohan a new way to get his new form to catch up to Goku and Vegeta. Okay, does that? I just laid out the basic premises of superhero. You're going to watch it because it has fire action. Broly, fire action. Throw hands from beginning to end. And you may be in the comment section if you made it this far. Oh, that's the point of Dragon Ball Super. They just throw hands. That's how you going to expect anything else from a Dragon Ball Z movie. Go. And I'll tell anyone who actually enjoys the Dragon Ball Z movies, they have actual story behind it. When you watch any of the Dragon Ball Z movies, maybe not Tree of Life. Tree of Life is kind of one of the ones on the lower end. Maybe they're worse than the Super movies. They try to focus on the story element. They try to tell you a story while incorporating action, much like how we hate the new stage at MCU, how they're just giving us all action, but very much less of a good story. Super is doing the same thing. They're throwing action at us, and as anime fans, Dragon Ball Super fans, Dragon Ball Z fans, we're gonna eat it up every time. It's Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super is one of the more top 3 most popular anime of all time, if not the most popular, right? But in terms of that, if you go back and watch the Dragon Balls, you can have Icarus crying, Gohan whistling with Icarus. You can have Cooler basically messing up Namek. You could have Cooler in the first part. You could have I want to say the original Broly movie has an actual story to it. But even then, you could go back to the original Broly movie where they're basically forcing the planet inhabitants to do their bidding, eventually leaving. So you're invested on that side of the story while giving you action simultaneously while Broly is whooping everybody. So in terms of that, we may remember the action, the fight scenes from all the DBZ and Dragon Ball Super movies. Even the Fall Super Saiyan from that one movie. That's not Janemba. I'm trying to think of the movie, but I couldn't think of it. The Fall Super Saiyan from that one movie. We all know these fights. We all love these fights. And we're all going to reference these fights. But there's story behind it. Super has no story behind it. So if you've made it this far into this video, I think we can all agree, all of us, single-handedly say, Dragon Ball Super, right, has the worst anime movies in terms of what DBZ can produce. And I don't know if that's from a creative director position or a creative producer decision to just give us the action we want instead of the story we want. For example, I'll go to theaters to see an anime movie. For example, the Spirited Away, Ponyo, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Most of these, right, anime movies have good story behind it, makes you cry, and you could watch it and actually say that's a good movie. While the Dragon Ball Super movies doesn't give you any of that satisfaction. You just want to see a beatdown. You want to see a fight. Now, if you want to go see a 30-minute you want to see a 10-minute, you can search it up on YouTube instead of watching the whole movie, right? You could. Now really think about it. Really think about it. Really think about your favorite Dragon Ball Z movie. If you've made it this far, think about your favorite Dragon Ball Z movie. Put it in the comment section below. Think about it. Mine's is episode of Burnout, right? Where he's in the future. Or even before that, where he has to fight Frieza. He dies, and you see him with the headband bloody. The bloody headband because his teammates died. He sees the future. He got to send Goku away. He sees Goku in the future talking to him, saying, you know what you got to do, Dad? Come on now. Now, in terms of that, like, he's sent back away, right? You could count it canon or not, but I like how they basically loop the story. They always talked about the legendary Super Saiyan, but Bardock, at least in that story, is the legendary Super Saiyan as he's traveled back in time. Not really explained. He traveled back in time, fights Frieza's, not descendant, ancestor, and Super Saiyan basically lets his ancestor off the hook, basically starting the legend of the legendary Super Saiyan down to that day. You can't tell me that's not a good story. I wish it was canon, but you can't tell me that's a good story. Even then, the legendary Super Saiyan, it being a mystery and all, is lovely. I don't think we should ever know who was the legendary Super Saiyan, to be fair. But they could come out and say it was Bardock, and it would make 100% sense. Anyway, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on. We know Dragon Ball Z movies got more story, better story, way better story than Dragon Ball Super.